Time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senator Jason York.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Coming In Hot. Brent Wallace alongside Jason York. Yorkie, you know what I was just thinking? What if someone just tuned into this show for the first time this week or last week and all they can hear is me? They're like, what is wrong with that guy?
He's got Ebola. You still got it. You're never going to get... This has been going on, what, 3 weeks now?
It feels like a lifetime at the moment, to be honest. Yeah. Anyway.
God. Yeah.
This show brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365. I apologize. Eventually, we'll get over this and we'll move on. I hope.
Well, at least you're not communicating via your whiteboard anymore, just writing stuff down. And
it is handy, though. It is on standby.
Yeah, it's good, but you know, for people listening on,
it's not great for the podcast part.
They've got the ear pods in and they're out and about. What's going on? There's a guy not speaking.
I just thought of that now. I totally forgot about these.
What are the numbers anyhow? What are the numbers? How many people? I need to know, because I would think most people put the earbuds in and listen remotely when they're out in the car. Maybe they throw it on. Maybe they're just out at the gym, whatever. So how do you find that out?
Well, I have a secret vault of information. It is, I think, roughly 40% less listen on podcasts or something to that effect. I can't remember. Yeah. Our YouTube numbers are much higher.
Because I'm just thinking, like,
it's just not significantly, but they're higher for sure.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like people are on the go. Everyone's doing stuff. It's not always possible to get the computer open or the phone and sit down.
No, but the show is built around being a visual show, and so most people enjoy tuning in that way. And we like to give away stuff live sometimes on the show. Like, you know what? Right now, if you email the show, tell me, I don't know. I just say, you know what?
How many shutouts did Anton Forsberg have this year?
Great. We'll give you a Leanest to Victory t-shirt. Okay.
There you go. Because we're going to talk about, and we're going to have a little discussion later about Anton Forsberg and the goalies.
Mark Colomb has very rightly pointed out you can't read Wally signs on Spotify. I just listened to the pod, but I like the chat from Connie. I appreciate that. It should be breaking soon, says Kirk Graeme. Thank you, Dr. Graeme. I appreciate that. Anyway, and then Rob Demers may have the best comment of all as we get this show rolling here. I watched to see Wally's frustration face. That's, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. I appreciate it, Rob.
Hold on, Wally. I'm just moving.
Oh, email the show at cihsends@gmail.com. cihsends@gmail.com. Sorry about that. All right.
Okay.
What are you doing? Can we get on with the show?
Just switching a golf time to work around the podcast. Oh, we're all good. Tis the season. Tis the season. Like, come on. We've been grinding.
How many?
It's actually miraculous. Like you've been through the ringer, you've been grinding. Like I should have got sick. I sat beside you in the car for 4 hours. Every single game, I was sitting right beside you in the press box. I can't believe I didn't catch the old Ebola off you. Take vitamins, Wally? Did you take vitamins?
Not enough, clearly. Not enough.
Yeah. Oh, it's the saltiness. Anyways, you should. You are pasty white right now. You gotta get some vitamin. Either get out in the sun or start taking some vitamin D. So in Ottawa, you gotta take vitamin D during the winter, Wally. Otherwise, you get the Ebola like you have right now.
So I started to. Okay, so I didn't. You said I'm pasty. I didn't sleep last night because I started to cough at around 3. And Lisa gets up at 5:30, but I didn't want to wake her. Like, I just want to wake her at 3. So I got up and went downstairs so she would have some sleep. So I just didn't sleep a lot because of this stupid nonsense.
So you weren't sleeping during the playoffs because you're working so hard. And because you're working so hard, you're sick now and you just can't sleep.
Yeah. I need a nap.
Oh, you
All right.
needed you needed the season to end to get your health back.
And you know what I just felt like yesterday? I just found out Mother's Day is this weekend, and I don't have anything planned. Like, do you?
Actually, I'm leaving tomorrow. We're going to Victoria, BC for my nephew Ethan's wedding. Ethan met a lovely girl from her parents. Well, she's from Victoria. So we're flying out there, McKenna. We're flying out there tomorrow. We're going to spend 4 nights out in Victoria. Got a tea time booked, Wally, Thursday morning at the Victoria Golf Club right on the ocean. For anyone that's ever played it, it's supposed to be spectacular. So we're looking forward to that. But it's weird out there for anyone that's ever been out west or lives out there. I know we got some listeners. The weather's like 14, 16. I think like a good day is 18. You get. I'm just hoping it doesn't rain because it rains a lot.
Yeah, very true.
Anyway, right. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Well, enjoy it. So, but do you have anything planned for Mother's Day? Like, you still have? Yeah,
we're gonna be in Victoria. We're gonna have a nice Mother's Day breakfast at the hotel before we get on our flight to come back. Wow. And then I've planned. So we had to move the Mother's Day dinner. We're gonna go out for dinner next week when we get back and do something nice.
I need to get a gift for Lisa. This is my.
Don't you usually make your gifts? Like, you make cards, and then Sunday there's got to be some kind of 2-for-1 dinner you can go to somewhere. Like maybe there's a brunch around town that does a 2-for-1 brunch.
So I have to make breakfast. That's what Lisa always requested. I make breakfast for her, an omelet. She enjoys the omelets I make. But I don't have a gift. I should have probably talked to the people at Charm a lot sooner.
Yeah, you got to make sure the kids get on board and do something special for Mother's Day.
So they always have to. They always have to make a card and do that. But my boy gets off because he's in
your boy Blue. You're my boy Blue.
So he doesn't have to. But I don't. Anyway, let's move on. But I don't have a gift, so I will take ideas. If you just put them in the chat, we just throw up some ideas. I'd appreciate that. All right,
my ideas go on.
As we get into the show, this show brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, which is a perfect time for you to get out and head on over from Mother's Day ideas. Charm Diamond Centers is proudly Canadian owned and operated since 1972 with more than 85 locations across the country. Through Charm and their sister brands, get custom ring building delivered in less than 4 weeks to the Charm Masterpiece program. Check out a large selection of Canadian lab-grown diamonds, mine diamonds. They also have Mother's Day sales going on at the moment. Also, don't pay until 2026. Apply for the Charm Diamond Flexity card today. For more information, go to charmdiamondcenters.com. Chosen forever, Charm Diamond Centers. Let's see if they go with Merkley. Does it switch? Yeah,
Merkley.
We're on fire.
Our good friends at Merkley, who one of our new and best sponsors. They're home to the largest masonry boutique in Eastern Ontario. They deliver to Ottawa, Gatineau, Kingston, Ottawa Valley, and the surrounding areas. So if you're looking for stone, brick, landscaping products, or specialty building supplies, you can count on Merkley. Take it from me. I used Merkley Supply for the stone in my house, and they were unbelievable, Wally. We're going to have a show. Actually, we're going to do a show right on my back patio, and you can see all that beautiful Merkley stone as our backdrop. Well, it's going to be fantastic. So go to merkleysupply.com.
This is about your house, Yorkie.
Or visit their showroom in Hintonburg. It's lovely. Okay. Merkley, mark every milestone.
I got to get back to the house thing in a sec, but first, coming in hot, brought to you by the City Match Play Championship, brought to you by Club EG. This Match Play Championship taking place in Ottawa is for golfers of every skill level. There's a division for any skill, any age, and yes, males and females. There's some team divisions as well. You can enter any division that suits you and get matched up in a bracket-style match play golf tournament. You and I should join, Yorkie. Sure. Check out the details. You'd have to carry me, though, at citymatchplay.golf. That's citymatchplay.golf. Individual divisions, team divisions. There's no reason not to play in this great city championship, as Donald Trump would say, the greatest city championship ever, since they're catered to all those and any of those. And even if you shoot over 100, you will always compete against someone of similar skill. Check it out, citymatchplay.golf. Quickly, when is the estate going to be ready, by the way?
My little bungalow, we're moving in May 26th, I believe. So yeah, perfect. Should be just about ready by then. Why? What do you got planned?
Well, I need to have the gear ready. So the Send Summer series will be broadcast live
from the
Westbrook.
old-fashioned patio. I got to get a sign for it. The old-fashioned patio. Yes, Wally. We're going to get first guest. He's already claimed it that he wants on is the Drake. Drake Batherson wants to be on the show. He's looking forward to it. The old-fashioned patio show coming this summer.
I know Steve Staios is around the corner. He might just pop by. You never know who might end up on the couch.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
So
lots to look forward to.
Speaking of looking forward to, the next season, it should be exciting, I would think, based on what we just witnessed. But like any year, Yorkie, there's change coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I ask you this as the summer of Steve 2.0 kicks into high gear now, revs up. We saw it yesterday with the signing of Nick Matt-Palo quickly. I want to start with goaltenders because as much as it seems like the plan is set, it's not really set. So you've got Linus Ullmark who signed. He starts his extension next year for what, $8.25 million. Anton Forsberg is a UFA. Okay, fair enough. It seemed like you'd move on from Forsberg because you've got Mads Søgaard signed to a one-way deal next year at around $800,000. And then there's Levi Meriläinen, though. Levi Meriläinen outplayed Mads Søgaard in a heartbeat, but he's 22. He's RFA. So, Yorkie, I ask you, what happens next year with the goal? Who is the backup goaltender next year for the Ottawa Senators?
What a trick. This is a tricky question for a Monday morning, Wally. You're throwing this at me right now, just the two of us. We don't have our analytics genius, Graeme Nichols, to pour through the numbers. How about poor Graeme, who have listened to our show last week, promoting the competition to go watch. You know what? If you want to go find some good content, you can watch that interview over on ESPN 1200. Wally's like, that's on our website, or I got it on my whatever you have it on.
Could just watch ours.
Oh, anyway, God. This is intriguing because if you look at Meriläinen, it's such a small sample size at the NHL level, but that sample size is so good. It's so good, and I love this kid. He seems to be a gamer. But it's so tricky with goaltenders. It's because at this age, you look at Meriläinen right now. What is he? 23, Wally? 22.
Meriläinen's 22. Søgaard's 24. Forsberg 31.
Yeah. I'll say this about Forsberg, and I asked you to send me his game by game, and you and I were pouring through his numbers down the stretch. He was huge down the stretch for the Ottawa Senators. He shut out the Florida Panthers April 5th at home. That was one of his 4 shutouts this year. It was an up and down road at the beginning of the season, but also to remember to start the year how good he was. Like, people were getting on Ullmark early on because he was hurt and he came back and he had a slow start, but it was Forsberg that was winning a lot of important games. So I don't think it's as easy as, let's get Meriläinen. He's ready. And here we go. Because the other thing we learned this year about Ullmark, can he play a full season? Like, that's so you're going to need somebody that is an NHL goalie and have that kind of, not that it's a safety net, but you look at the NHL the way it's played now, especially at the goaltending position. You need 2 established NHL goaltenders. If you want to be a good team, one of those guys has to be a stud, which like Ullmark is. He won a Vezina Trophy. He is a stud. But Forsberg, the one thing I know about him, the other thing I know about him, Wally, amongst other things, he's extremely well liked in the locker room. You know that as well. He's
yes.
Players. So with goaltenders, the skaters on the team love having a backup that likes to work because guys want to take extra shots. Guys want to work on their game, and there's nothing guys hate worse than a lazy backup that gets off the ice and doesn't stay. This guy stays. Anytime I've been out there, especially late in the season, he's staying out there, taking shots, working in the gym. He's in tremendous shape, really good person. There's a lot of endearing attributes that this guy has, and most importantly, he can play in the NHL. So this is going to be I don't think it's as easy as everybody's just saying, yep, get Levi Meriläinen. He's going to be the guy. The one thing I will say that seems to be a little clearer now, Matt Sogard. Just doesn't seem like he's ready to be an NHL goaltender. A lot can change this summer. He is a big guy and he's still young as well. And you never know with goaltenders. That's why it's so tough. Like, it's so tough to tell.
Yeah, you could look at Philip Gustafson maybe as a guy, or Joey Decord. Like, they weren't really sure on. And then they start to pick it up later. So here's the thing, right? So Matt Sogard, we've kind of written him off because he hasn't been very good. And this year, when he was pressured to be good, if you will, knowing that he's the heir apparent to be the backup in Ottawa, he wasn't very good. He had a 545 goals against average and an 800 save percentage. He played just 2 games, started 1. I don't think the $800,000 that he's being scheduled to make next year on the one-way deal is a big deal. I think you could probably get him through waivers and back to Belleville if it was really that big a deal, because if you claim him on waivers, you got to put him on your NHL roster or put him through waivers again. And I think that circle will end up just back in Ottawa. I don't think that's a big deal.
I think with Sogard, that's your guy that, hey, go prove that you can go play well over a long period of time in the minors. Like, I think he's got some, I know he's got some work to do on his game. And not that you're giving up on the guy. I can't see another team picking him up. He just doesn't have the numbers. Every team has guys in their system. They all got guys. They all have big guys. There's all kinds of prospects. So the fact that he's on one way, I think clears no problem. Camp's going to be interesting. So he'll be there. Nice thing about Maryland is they control the asset. He's an RFA. They control the asset. All right. You've got time there. You've got time. It's just with Forsberg, what do you do?
So let's move then off of Sogard to Forsberg. So he's the next big piece, because is Maryland too young and too inexperienced to be the backup in Ottawa this season, where you have Anton Forsberg, who made $275 last year.
Yeah.
But I should also remember they're still paying Jonas Korpisalo $1 million. Maybe they could bring him in. Does anybody have a big issue if it's Anton Forsberg and you leave Levi Meriläinen one more year in the minors?
I don't have Meriläinen's stats in front of me. What year is he? I'll pull him up right now. What year is he going into, Wally, as far as pro experience goes?
Meriläinen?
Yeah, I'll pump him up right now. I just want to see his games played. Meriläinen. So if you look at he
has 14 games played over 2 years.
Yeah. So, and even his pro experience, Wally, it's not a ton of pro experience. Like, you got a guy, like, he's extremely young. He's an 02. I always go by 02s, 01s.
Yeah.
So he's a 2002. He's in August. He's going to be just 23 years old. I'm fine if you've got it, if he goes back to the minors and just continues to work on being a pro. And people say, well, he did so well in this short period of time. It's just, well, just go back to that situation in Vancouver. Remember Vancouver? They had that young goalie they brought up for the playoffs, and he was really, really good. Seeloffs, yeah. I bring him up. He played in Barrie. I watched him a lot in Barrie because my son Jack played there. And it's just, you got to do it consistently over a lot of time to just, because these little spurts can happen. The problem is Meriläinen's was not a problem, but it's a good thing. It was such a good spurt. So I just think when you look at the situation with Ottawa, what did they want to do this year? What was the goal? The goal was to make the playoffs. They played really well down the stretch. Forsberg was a part of that. If they do decide to bring him back, I'm good with that. Like, this guy, like I said, he's good pro.
So
won some big games, but I'm also good. I don't mind the old thing of taking a risk on somebody too. I just don't know if you have to take that risk right now.
Okay, who is your backup?
I'm kind of split, Wally. I got a bad answer. I'm kind of split.
If you're Steve Staios, what is the answer?
I think because of Allmark's track record, I want a guy that has played in the NHL and has some experience, and I'd probably lean towards Forsberg and have Meriläinen and Sogard as my guys down in the minors, and then you can always change it as the season goes on. It just gives you some time. Let the situation play out. And Forsberg too might have some suitors around the league too. Don't forget.
Well,
that's a UFA.
So,
like the problem might, like, it might not even be a problem. If he gets to UFA, like, some other teams might be out there and say, hey, this guy's a pretty good backup. He'd look pretty good at this number with our team. So that could very well happen.
That I am with you on. This problem could easily be resolved. Like, is he going to get will he go to $4 million as a backup next year? I can't imagine. At 275,
I don't think so.
What is, like, 3.5? And is 3.5 too steep for the Sens? But I'm with you. If Merrilainen had just been somewhat average, this wouldn't even be a conversation, right?
I know, he was so good.
Right? He was so good. He ended up, I think I'm almost 100% sure he was Belleville's MVP this season.
Was he?
Yeah. Like, he's clearly the unsung hero of the Ottawa Senators season.
So
he played 11 games. He played in 12 games, 11 starts. He was 8-3 and 1. 220. Sorry, a 199 goals against and a 925 save percentage. Can he replicate that on a regular backup basis is the question. And I don't know the answer. I feel like it's going to be Anton Forsberg as the backup next season.
Yeah, and it probably, if that was going to happen, you would think they would go to him before July 1 and say, you know what, let's do a deal and not let him get to July 1. And then that's, if I'm a guy like Forsberg and I like it here too, and the offer comes, I'm probably taking that. It's just, he's got a family. It appears the guys who wouldn't like playing here right now with what went on in the playoffs, the feeling, the mood. He knows he's going to play here. So
they get along. Like, they've been together for over 10 years as friends, if you will.
Yeah. But then again, who knows? Like, he might get an offer from a team where it just all depends. The good thing is, if you're Steve Staios with the Ottawa Senators, I think you got two great options here. Like, I don't mind. Like, the sensible part of me is saying go with the two NHL guys. But the risk taker that's saying, ooh, this Merrilainen guy, like, he could, especially with Allmark, like, he's going to get an opportunity because you don't want to play Allmark 60 games a year. So could Merrilainen be a guy that just, could be a star in the making? You don't, like, it's
okay, but in Yorkie, you don't want him to sit and not play.
He would play with
your guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
right. Like you
said,
want Levi Merrilainen to play 40 games.
I don't know if I want him to play that much.
Well, no, I'm not NHL. I'm just talking like you want him to play as much as he can.
What I want is for Hallmark to be healthy all year. That's what I want. Is for Hallmark to be healthy all year, and to see him in the net, not as much as possible, but a lot more than we saw him this year. I think we can all agree on that. We can all agree.
I 100% agree.
That's number one. And then whoever the backup's going to be, I just want a capable NHL backup that's going to steal some games. And Forsberg stole some games for you this year. Like that. That was a huge win in Florida late in the season when they needed that. But Merrilainen was huge over his little stint around New Year's, man. Like I said, I'm not a goalie guy. All I can tell you is whoever gives you the best chance of stopping the puck, keep that guy. Who do you want? Like, who are you picking out of these guys?
Here's before I give you the answer. So Anton Forsberg, Linus Ullmark had the same goals against average this season. Ullmark had a 909 save percentage and Forsberg was 901. So pretty similar numbers. The record just wasn't the same as Forsberg was one game below. Let's call it 500. I would like to see them come back. Oh, man, I love the gamble part, though. But I think it's the prudent thing would be to come back with Ullmark and Forsberg as your tandem.
Yeah, your team Ullmark Forsberg. Okay.
So
I thought you're.
I love the Merrilainen kid. I love the way he plays. I love everything about him. I just want
some moxie.
I just want him to have more games, and then to be the guy that comes. But here's the other issue. Then in a year or two, when he's ready to be number one, what happens in Ottawa? So that's a whole other story. I love Merrilainen's game. I just want him to play more at this age.
Well, look at the most games he's played in a season, Wally. Well, he got 37 AHL games in this year. Not bad. Not bad. Plus he got 12 with the Sens, so he's at 47, 40.
Okay. Is he
49
ready
games.
to be a backup and play 30 games for Ottawa at 22, 23 years old when his season starts?
It's like, let's see what kind of camp he has. Like, that's what it's going to come down to.
But you're going to have another goalie in camp.
Yeah, I know. The worst thing you could do is make the decision now. The worst thing you could do is make the decision, and he comes to camp and craps the bed, and you're like, oh shit, what are we going to do now?
Yeah, that's right. And then you're out of options because. So I think it's going to be Forsberg. Anyway,
yeah, I'm split. I'm leaning towards Forsberg, but I could see it being Marilainen too. So it's a shitty answer, but it's Monday morning and it is what it is.
I could use a little less fence sitting, a little more affirmative.
But get me a guy that can tell you about. Nobody knows the answer on goalies. I don't care what kind of expert you are, what you've done, what analytics, whether you were a goalie for. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
because we all thought Linus Ullmark was going to win every game and play.
I'll give you some great examples. Like, look at Tim
Yorkie.
What's that?
Just going to quickly show you something here as we go through the show. Yorkie, it's Tuesday.
There you go. It feels like Monday. Like I get on, Wally's got a Monday morning voice. It's like you've been partying all weekend, but I know that's not true.
I don't have any fun.
Oh God, I just feel it feels like Monday though. Like, come on, Ottawa. Like, could we get 2 consecutive days of sunshine? Is that too much to ask for? Get a nice day, and then of course it's going to piss and rain all day again today.
Here's the reason why you think it's Monday.
Retired. Not retired. This is a job.
I know you worked your butt off this year.
Case in point with goaltenders. I bring up a guy like Tim Thomas, for example.
Yeah,
he's a guy that when he was younger, totally discarded. Couldn't even really play in the minors, so he went and played in Finland. The guy goes over, plays in Finland, ends up back with Boston later on in his late 20s, early 30s, and ends up winning a Stanley Cup. Like, you're going to tell me people saw that coming? Even Dominik Hasek, when he started off in Chicago, they let him go. Like, Chicago let him go. He ends up in Buffalo eventually and turns into one of the best goaltenders of all time. It's just, there's no exact science with these goalies. You don't know. And that's
Craig Anderson's a perfect example. Waivers. He lost his first 11 games in the National Hockey League. No one was really sure what was going to happen with him. How about Jim Carey? Remember Jim Carey?
The net detective.
Right. Did he not win the Calder?
Yeah, he's out of the league. He's out of the league. In I don't know.
He ended up playing
years later.
Shockingly, 172 NHL games, but he was never when he was in Washington. He was dominant, and then just never became the same goalie again. Just
can't go to Carolina's first Stanley Cup. They put a rookie goaltender in nets because they had no other option. Their starter was hurt. Wasn't it? Who was the starter? Was
Cam
it
Ward?
No, but
sorry.
Ward,
yeah.
It was Gerber. That was, I believe, it was Gerber. But then it's like, shit, he's hurt. What are we gonna do? We're done. Oh, Cam Ward gets in the net. All of a sudden, he goes on a run and they win the cup. Nobody's foresaw that coming. Nobody. It's just
Cam Ward's numbers were a 368 goals against and an 882 save percentage, and he took them to a cup, Stanley Cup.
Look at the Florida Panthers' first their Stanley Cup. Bobrovsky, they didn't trust him. They're like, what are we going to do with this guy? He's making whatever he was making, $9 million. I
always remember the 10
making $10 million. They were going to waive him the next year. They were going with their backup because they couldn't trust Bobrovsky anymore. Like, he was done.
Do you remember who the backup was, Yorkie?
Yeah, what's his name? I forget.
Anthony Stolars. Oh, sorry, Stolars.
There was two of them. There was two of them.
No, not that year. The year they won the cup, it was just the one. Knight was the next year, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Spencer Knight came the next year, and Vitek Vanacek was in that system.
But anyway. nobody in the hockey
I'm with you.
had Bobrovsky on their bingo card for a guy that was going to lead a team to the Stanley Cup and win. That's why this whole goaltending prediction, and is just nobody knows. And there's so many examples and case studies all around. It's crazy.
So then we solved nothing in this whole entire conversation.
What we've solved is, number one, there's a reason goaltenders are all crazy, because they are all crazy. You hear this about they're weirdos. Because they're unpredictable.
Except Ron Tugnut.
Tugger is a weirdo too. He'll tell you. He looks like a grade 9 science teacher, but
that's why he's so great.
He's like,
by the way, I think yesterday was the day of the 5 overtime game anniversary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we gotta get Tugger. We gotta get Tugger, but we gotta get Tugger back on the show. We got to see Tugger. Unfortunately, that when you go to wakes, when we went to our good friend Greg Millen's celebration of life, you see a lot of people you don't see, and Tugger was there. It was good to reconnect with Tugger, but he wants to come back on. Loves coming on the show, Wally.
I met his kids said they watched the show. Rick Wamsley was there that day. He wants to come
Wammer.
Anyway.
He's an old crazy goalie too. They're all crazy.
He's fantastic. He was anyway. I want him to tell the story if he would about the day him and Robin Leonard almost went to blows in Binghamton in the office, but we'll see if he tells it.
Did you ever hear the story of who's the old assistant coach for Ottawa? I should know his name. Rented my house. It was
Ron Lowe.
He used to be a defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers. What's his name?
Steve Smith?
No, he was. How do I defend?
Ron Lowe.
Before then, he was like early to mid 2000s. Really, really good guy.
It's not Brad Lauer.
No.
Why can't I don't know. I said Jason Smith. I don't know. The chat just brought up Jason Smith. Why can't I think of who you're talking about?
Anyway. Guy was like a fighter for the Edmonton Oilers.
It's Jason Smith.
No, it's an older guy. He's in his 60s now. It'll come to me. Anyhow, he rented my house for 2 years when I was playing in Nashville. Really good guy.
You don't remember his name?
Well, it was like 2000 and 2003. I got a great story about him. with Owen Nolan when Nolan was playing for the so this mystery guy that rented my house was also an assistant coach with the Quebec Nordiques back in the day, and he was a tough guy. And you talk about guys get into blows with their coaches. Owen Nolan was hurt back then playing for the Quebec Nordiques, and assistant coach told him to get on the bike, and he said, "I'm not getting on the bike, screw you." And the coach said, "Get on the bike," and they ended up coming to blows in the dressing room. They actually was a fist fight. You get his name in?
Well, is it Don Jackson?
Don Jackson, bingo, right there. Great guy. It took you long enough. Anyways, him and Owen Nolan, Donnie Jackson and Owen Nolan were fighting in the dressing room. Like, you imagine that happening in today's NHL? The assistant coach go and square it off with one of the players. But that's what happened back then.
You settled it in the room. Jackson. I remember that. Yeah,
settled in the room. He is a beauty. He was a tough guy too. Like when he played for the Oilers, really tough guy.
Yes, absolutely. And he was very quiet in Ottawa. Like he didn't speak a lot. Who was
the head coach when Donnie was here?
Jacques.
It was Jacques. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's right.
He spent 3 years under Jacques Martin.
Yeah.
And then he went and coached.
Owen Nolan would be in your crusty, salty club. He is a salty guy. Like if you were to make an all salty team, he'd probably be the starting right winger. Like he's very salty.
Where would Chris Pronger be on your salty team?
100%. Prongs would be lefty on the all salty team. I'd go Pronger on lefty.
What about Chris Chelios?
No, too good of a guy. I like to have fun.
Remember when he was gonna? He got in trouble with talking about Gary Bettman during the lockout.
Oh yeah, Chris Chelios is loved by fellow players in the NHL. He is a guy's guy. Loves to have a good time and plays super hard. Great teammate. That's the guy, Wally. I would have loved to have got a chance to play with Chris Chelios. Right shot defenseman like myself. He could actually shoot both hands. He was so good. Chelios was so good. If the puck was rimmed around, and he's a right shot normally, if it was on the left shot, he'd switch and shoot it left. Ambidextrous. Really, really talented guy. I wouldn't have him on my all-salt. I'd have Pronger for sure. Owen Nolan would be on my would be center. And then I have to do a little more research. Maybe the good listeners could help us out with. We should do this. So we should have our all salty team.
Okay,
we'll post it.
So when you fly out west, maybe you can give it some thought.
All salty team, yes.
All right. Let's move on. We got. Let's take care of some business, and we'll get back into it. Get ready, Canada. This show brought to you by Shoeless Joe's in Orleans and in Kemptville. The playoff season's here, and Shoeless Joe's Sports Grill in Kemptville and Orleans. Well, they're coming in hot. They're serving up fresh, made-to-order dishes every day, and a limited time, you could dive into our True North playoff menu packed with bold flavors and fan favorites. But wait, the best part? Head to Shoeless Joe's and you can win a trip to the finals. Whether it's a night out, a family dinner, or a game day with friends, Shoeless Joe Sports Grill is your home for great food, big moments, and unbeatable vibes. Shoeless Joe Sports Grill, proudly Canadian, always legendary, and the home where Liam McGuire had his first date with his current significant other. Just saw that today on Facebook.
Tuesday, useless facts brought to you by, and this show also brought to you by BEI. Spring is here, so that means it's time to start landscaping. And if you need some landscape stone, aggregate, maybe thinking of redoing the driveway, well, BEI is here to help you with some competitive pricing on all your landscape needs. So give them a call at 613-432-1120 or go to bonishexcavating.com. BEI is helping to shape the Ottawa Valley.
And, of course, our good friends, a proud presenting sponsor, Bet365. Want to get on the action for Stanley Cup playoffs at Bet365? They got you from game props to player props, totals, and the money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, and Stanley Cup champions, and much more. Whatever you bet, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app. Get in on the game. An official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. So Yorkie, Graeme was convinced. Oh, by the way, here's tonight's game. Saw last night, not the outcome we were hoping for. Florida losing 5-4. Anthony Stollart's out of the game by none other than Sam Bennett. Tonight,
do you think it was that, or do you think it was the shock? He took a shot off the mask earlier too. That got him pretty good.
Well, hang on. So,
like how hard
Hurricanes in Washington tonight. Edmonton kicks off the series in Vegas. So, Vegas the favorite in this one, and Washington the favorite as Carolina comes to town. So the goalie thing, yeah, Yorkie.
What'd you think? Like it looked.
He went
like
he went to the hospital. Like here's at every NHL building, they have medical facilities that can diagnose you with doing all. They just don't have an MRI machine, obviously.
Yeah.
For them to go, we're taking you for whatever to a hospital is interesting to me. That makes it seem like this is significant.
Did he go to the hospital?
I believe I read he went to the hospital.
Don't believe everything you read online, Wally.
Oh,
you should know that. You should know that.
No, it's all. If it's on Twitter, it's true.
Yeah, whatever.
Anthony Stolarz was taken out of Scotiabank Arena on a stretcher during the third period of tonight's game, per sources. That's Chris Johnson. Quickly
taken out of the rink on a stretcher.
Yeah. So there you go. Leaves arena in ambulance. So anyway,
I need photo evidence on this.
So if you were leaving the game, that's a significant. Like I don't think he's playing. I don't know when, but definitely not game 2.
He had. So I think we can all agree he's got a concussion. 0 chance he plays next game. 0 chance. You leave the game, and it's one thing if you get your bell rung and you're a little dizzy and whatever, but to be vomiting, like that's a pretty serious. Not that I'm laughing to make light of it, but that's a very serious concussion. If you're vomiting, like that's pretty intense. And I was wondering when he went over to the bench when I was watching it last time, was he puking right now? And they caught it. And how about the guys that had to sit there later? The poor backup that had to go sit there later. The e-bug. Oh God, that must have. Oh, but Combination shot off the head earlier, and then when Bennett comes across, it's like a little bit of a chicken wing. Like he just doesn't make a lot of effort to avoid him.
No.
And then
why would you?
But I like to have a concussion though. I guess it's because you're not expecting it. Like you're the goaltender there and you're focused on the puck, and then you get it from the side. It would be similar to, you go back to the Crosby outdoor game hit, not a hard hit, but when you don't brace for something, it even the slightest thing, not that it was a slight move, but it wasn't like a vicious thing, but it was more like a side glancing unprepared blow that can sometimes do worse damage. So now the whole thing's going to start. All the posturing. You heard Maurice last night. All the refs didn't call it, and then Berube last night. They're all going to be. Toronto wants Bennett out of the series for sure because he's.
Yeah, but there's no supplementary discipline coming.
You don't think so?
No, I believe it's, and I think it's even been reported.
Has it? I thought he was going to get a game. I thought he might get a game for that just because of Solar's leaving and the aftermath of what happened. But
we'll see.
Man,
maybe
there's so many
that he's not getting anything, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I'm leaning towards they might give him something. And if Bennett's out, wow, that's a big loss for.
Okay,
I think he's getting a game.
Okay, I thought anyway. The chat will straighten us all out here shortly, because if there's nothing else, they just like to show that we're wrong.
Oh no. Jake just producer Jake just said Elliot Friedman reported it. Wally, he did see it. Nothing coming. Okay.
No, I think he's. See, this is why you're not allowed into the chat. This is regarding the hospital.
Okay. Sorry, I'll stay off the chat. My bad.
Chris Johnson said nothing's coming for Sam Bennett. Thank you, chat. I knew there was out there somewhere. Okay. So quickly, the defense we make a big deal about, and I wish Graeme was on the show today. Or maybe we'll save it because he keeps saying they need a right shot D. Well, all the D now are signed, exception of Tyler Clevin, who's an RFA for next season. So they really don't have much in the way of RFAs to sign in the offseason. Merrilainen, Clevin, and Zetterlund. And we'll get to Zetterlund in a sec. So
your boy.
So all basically, we can just say all 6D at the moment are signed. I don't foresee them, Yorkie. And even if Nick Jensen has surgery, I still don't see them bringing in another D on a one-way contract for next season.
What's the cap's going up next year, correct?
A one-way contract.
I think I'd like a little more clarity on Nick Jensen on what he's dealing with.
I think he's headed to surgery.
It sounds that way, doesn't it? It really sounds that way. Like just because there was no clarity on what he had and what he's doing, and then the fact that he kind of kept things hush hush makes you wonder. So I don't know. I still think I when I look at their group as a whole, they had a nice year. Clevin was a really nice surprise in the playoffs. If you look at what's winning around the NHL, you look at the recipe for teams that have success in the playoffs. Big D, big D. If
they need to get bigger,
I'll never forget like talking to some of the guys in the league of the players that play now. And it was actually Mark Stone said this to me. He goes, "Look at our D." He goes, "We got big trees back there. Like, good luck trying to get to the front of the net in Vegas. Like, you got guys like Braden McNabb back there. Pietrangelo, who's their most skilled guy. He's still 6'3". They've got they're just huge back there. And look at Toronto. Like one of the biggest.
Shea Theodore's still there, correct?
Shea Theodore, smallest guy, is about 6'2".
So I'll list you their D.
They're massive. They're massive.
So like so they have 10D listed here, but Exact Whitecloud 6'2", Theodore 6'2", Pietrangelo 6'3", McNabb 6'4", Ben Hutton 6'3", Noah Hannafin 6'3", Nick Hague 6'6", Robert Hague 6'2". Yeah. Like they've only got two guys under 200 pounds. Theodore was at 197 and Mayo,
if you
who's
could,
funny,
if you could somehow get like the prototypical type of guy that teams are looking for right now, because everybody thinks, oh, you got to get guys at points, guys with the puck. Guys like Nick Hague, for example, he's 6'6". I watched this kid play junior in Mississauga. He was an offensive defenseman. He scored 30 or 35 goals as a defenseman in junior.
Yeah.
NHL, he's a big, long, mean shutdown guy, because the players in NHL are all the best players on their team, so they have skills and they've got great skills, but he's got size. Look at Logan Stanley, who plays in Winnipeg. He's out of the lineup last game, but these guys he's 6'6", 6'7". I would, in a perfect world, it would be nice if Ottawa could somehow, if they were going to bring in another D, get a guy with some size. It just look at Benoit in Toronto.
Yeah.
This guy gets 2-3 points a year, but come playoff time, when the ice shrinks, he's a big guy. He's around 6'4". He boxes out, makes it miserable for the other team's defensemen. Even Tanev, 6'3". Big D, you need, everybody thought the game, the way it was trending 10, 15 years ago, was going to be all skilled, all Michigan moves, everybody plays nice, no touchy-feely on the ice. It's just everyone's going to play friendly. And the NHL figured out, no, tough, hard, violent hockey sells. And that's the recipe for winning a cup now. You got to be big, you got to be mean, and if you want to be a team that has success in the playoffs, you need big and long on your back end. And if you look at Ottawa's top four, I love offensive puck moving defensemen, guys that can skate like Jensen, Shabbat, Zub, and Sanderson. But it would be nice to have a long body back there. That's why Clevin and Matt and Paolo are big and long. I'd like another guy though, in a perfect world.
Here's the interesting. So I still don't think Carter Yakimchuk is ready to play next year, but we'll see.
We'll see.
I don't think he's just ready to sustain the 82 game schedule. And he's not big and physical enough. I don't see it happening. Maybe Nick Jensen has surgery and doesn't play again. Just bear with me. That's a possibility. But I would be open to moving Artem Zub to bring in a bigger, heavier top D man.
Zuber, eh? You're going to get yourself in trouble with Sensation, Wally. You're going to be
maybe the last time. Yeah.
So you're going to take, let me get this straight. You're going to take away the guy's Jake Sanderson's partner, who plays so well with them. They read each other well.
Oh, so he can't play with anybody else in the National Hockey League.
Well, they got pretty good chemistry. This just in, like Zub and Sanderson. I don't know.
Then you know what?
I know what you're saying.
Find chemistry.
But you just said if Jensen's going to be hurt, you want to then trade Zub.
Well,
so you're going to take.
Hang
Jensen
on, no. I didn't know. If Nick Jensen is healthy, no, you can't pick and choose here.
Okay. Nick Jensen's healthy, so he's healthy. Okay, then you're getting
Artem's like, I'm exploring the option.
You're exploring the space. Thank you, Wallace. Oh, you got somebody on your side.
There's a few.
I'd like to add.
Look at that.
Well, he's not out of line. Oh, people are shifting on Zub.
No. Let's make one thing. I like him as a defenseman, but Ottawa as a D group needs to be heavier, bigger, stronger, and you can only do that by moving guys who are there because they're already under contract. That's all. And so
I don't mind this, Wally, because you still need guys that can move the puck. You still need guys that can think. I wouldn't mind if you're going to bring in, and listen, these guys, like we're talking pie in the sky here of trying to find guys like this. Teams don't give guys like this up. You normally have to develop them like you're doing with Clevin, and hopefully Matt and Paolo continues to get better. But how about this? You need defensemen that can play. Like maybe Zub comes down. Maybe he's more suited as a number 5.
I agree.
And you play 6 guys. And how about this? A Clevin Zub combo together. Zub and Clevin playing together.
Okay.
Then you
where's
bring
Nick,
in,
Matt, and Paolo?
Well, he's going to be
watches like he's Travis Hamonic. I don't mean that facetiously.
No.
I'm saying that like He just doesn't play
the way the NHL season works. You need 70.
Yeah.
You need 70. You can't just say these are my 6 and they're playing. What about this guy?
That's fair.
The season is now. You need 7 guys that can play. So Matt and Powell is going to play, and like just go through training camp. Somebody gets hurt. Like it's just guys get hurt all the time. So and if you want to be a top team in the league, like you need depth. You need depth. So I hear what people are saying about Zub. You watch him skate sometimes. He's got a short stride. He's not overly physical.
He's not a top pairing D for me. I like him as a player. I think he provides a great defensive game. He's just not a top pairing D for me.
The Ottawa Senators,
not to be successful in the playoffs. Sorry, Yorkie.
Yeah, what's lacking from the Senators' blue line is the ability to have that big body that can play a lot and deter forwards from getting to the front of the net consistently. Yeah, there's my boy. A lot of people are talking about Rasmus Andersson. Hey, you get me Rasmus Andersson? Take that guy all day.
I'm in.
Yeah. He's snarly. He's a right shot. He's a big, thick guy, about 6'1". He's not overly huge, but he plays with an edge. This guy's out there. He's chirping. I used to do a lot of Calgary games for Sportsnet back when Anderson was first getting his feet wet in the league. I remember watching him like, man, I like this guy. This guy plays with some moxie. Hey, like if you're going to move on from a Zub, I'd have no problem bringing in Rasmus Andersson. And I like Zub. Anderson's a better player though.
So Anderson, I'm sure everybody's looking this up already, but he has 1 year left before he hits UFA. So he makes 4.55 this year and he's UFA next year.
He's gonna make a lot of money.
So he will, but you will have cap space. Man.
Yeah, it could be a lineup of teams.
Where is Calgary at in their organization right now? Are they going to have to start? Like, do they have to start to get younger? What do they got to do? Are they at the? I know they quickly had a chance at a playoff run, but
I know Anderson loves playing there. I know he's a big part of that team.
Sure, but money talks.
Money talks. Money talks. Yeah, that's. I like him a lot as a player.
So we are going to be on the willing it to happen Rasmus Andersson to Ottawa this summer. We're going to make this happen.
We shall see.
You can be a little more excited, Yorkie. Could you just try to be a little more excited that we're going to make this happen?
Honestly, as much as I like Anderson, I want like a big tree back there. Like I want like a guy like with some Alexiak size there, Jamie Alexiak there, like just a massive guy at 6'6" that could move. Like just a big. Give me a big beast that can play hockey on the blue line.
So where is he playing on that blue line?
Yeah, just a guy like good 4 or 5 type guy that's just meat and potatoes, moves the puck, plays simple.
Is Nick Jensen part of your team? Excuse me.
Yeah, he is. Look at this, for example. Here's how the NHL has really come back to where it used to be. Luke Schenn, who's playing for the Winnipeg Jets right now and playing really well as just a big, thick guy. Like he's hammering guys right now in the playoffs. This guy was almost booted out of the league 4 or 5 years ago and down in the minors because the league was trending in a direction that wasn't suitable towards Schenn's game. Now it's back to where, hey, we need guys like Luke Schenn on our team because in the playoffs, they're miserable guys to play against. And look at Mark Mathod always says this, and every time I talk to Meth, it's really tough for NHL teams to win the grand prize when your team top defenseman is little. And I'll give you an example of this. When Scheifele went out of the game in Winnipeg, because Scheifele's not a big guy, they didn't lose a step. They actually got better. Like they played super simple. And Neil Pionk, who's not huge, but he's a bigger guy than Scheifele. Like they just became really hard to play against. And Scheifele was getting hit hard in that series. Like it was tough for Scheifele. Look at Vancouver with Quinn Hughes, like really, really good defenseman, but that team's yet to really break through. It's just the way the game is played in the playoffs, really tough on small D. It's really
You can't be
tough.
small. It's same on forwards. Like, you can't be a small team and be successful in the playoffs. I just don't see it. I've yet to see it.
It's tough. It's tough. I'm not saying it can't
The regular
happen.
season's a whole different world.
Whole different. So yeah, so anyhow, the point is, I'd like to see another big guy on the blue line if it's me.
But I'm just curious of where, so someone's got to move or go or whatever. That's all. Like,
Yeah.
is your
Yeah.
optimal D a partner with Sanderson, or is it someone with Shabbat? I don't think either one of those. I don't think the left side's moving. So,
I hope think of it this way. Everybody has belly ached and bitched and complained. Shabbat needs somebody to play with. Shabbat needs somebody to play with all these years. Shabbat finally has a really good season. The Sens make the playoffs. They do extremely well. And it's like, yeah, let's get rid of Nick Jensen.
I don't know.
Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Everybody's been bitching, complaining.
Yes.
With Shabbat, I thought had an excellent playoff. He was so good. He's probably Ottawa's best player down the stretch. He was really, really good the last couple of weeks, the way he played. And now we're like, you know what? Let's get rid of Nick Jensen.
So, hey, all right, I'm just going to play devil's advocate for this.
Sure.
Because I like Nick Jensen.
Think about that, though.
I get you, but Nick Jensen is not the biggest guy. So
Yeah.
all I'm saying is, if you can make your team better by any means possible of moving somebody that makes your team better, do you not do that? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But for me, Nick Jensen starts on the blue line next year. I'm just saying, if somehow a deal comes up for whatever reason and you can make that team better on the blue line, you explore any option, don't you?
You always got to explore the space. And that's what you talk to Steve Staios anytime he's asked, he says, yeah, I'm looking at all options. And and thus far, I think we can all agree he's done a really good job. Like, he's pretty well, not batting 1,000%, but that batting average is pretty high for the moves he's made. Like, he's pretty well hit the nail on the head on everything he's touched.
So we just got looks like a Graeme Nichols in our chat. I picked the wrong episode to this.
He wants. Well, if Graeme was here, if Graeme was here, we would have been like the Hammer time would have been brought up a long time ago on the show. We still haven't talked. Maybe Hammer comes back, Wally.
I said it under my breath here earlier on. You could probably find it somewhere, but yeah, I'm just joking. But again, Nick Jensen, I like him. But if you give me a 6'6" guy that can move the puck and will crush people into the corner like Luke, I'll take Luke Schenn. Like,
I'm not taking Luke Schenn over Nick Jensen.
But Luke Schenn would be a 5'6" guy, and Nick Jensen's a top 4.
But if you say you want Luke Schenn over Nick Jensen, I'm sending you. I'm sending you for some drug testing. If you're doing that, you're already smoking up with Biz, completely high. No disrespect to Luke Schenn. He's having but
dark helmet's on your side here. Jamie Alexiak is the guy to go.
Hey, dark helmet, right? Big guy, can skate, massive.
I don't know why people are so upset with Nick Jensen being 35. The chat's full of people saying he's 35. Well, Claude Giroux's 37. Like,
the thing about Jensen that Jensen gives you time for your I'm forgetting,
like Carter Yakimchuk to develop.
For Yakimchuk to develop. It's actually a nice succession plan, because watching what Yakimchuk did this year, seeing him play a little bit, he's probably going to need some time in the minors. Like, it's good for you to go and play pro. It's a massive jump from the NHL to jump right into the lineup. And it's one thing if they needed a guy to run your power play. Like, Sanderson had over 50 points this year. Shabbat's doing a great job on the second unit. You don't really need Yakimchuk's offense. It's not like you're starved for puck-moving offensive defensemen. The thing they need is a big guy that plays physical and is good defensively. And I think we can all agree that's not Yakimchuk right now. That's not him.
No.
He's a young guy. It's going to need some seasoning.
And apparently, he was not great defensively this year.
It's tough.
He's not ready to make the jump to the National Hockey League based on his defensive game.
Yeah. And that just takes time. It takes reps. It takes time playing pro hockey. The AHL is it's a tough league to play in, and it's second best league in the world. So I would think he's probably starts, gets his games at the beginning of the year like he did this year, see how he is, determination will be made, and depending on injuries, depending on health, he'll probably end up in the AHL.
There's some people that are saying Nick Jensen's too old, right? 35.
Yeah, like I said.
Okay, so here's the list of guys currently in the National Hockey League defensemen who are older than Nick Jensen. Ryan Suter, Brent Burns, Eric Johnson, Ryan McDonough, Luke Shen, Jared Spurgeon, Drew Doughty, Chris Tanev, John Carlson, Alex Pietrangelo, and Zach Bogosian.
Yeah, Chris Tanev's older. That's right.
Like
he ain't slowing down.
No, I like Alex Pietrangelo, and if you gave me Drew Doughty, anyway, I just think the 35 thing is. I get what it is. It's just it's a different era now for players than it used to be.
Nick Jensen takes extremely good care of his body. The guy's a consummate pro. He's 35.
He's one of the first guys I've heard. Yes, but he said he hated being injured because he couldn't practice, and he was like, "I love to be on the ice. It's when you work on your game. It's when you develop." And he's one of the first guys I've ever heard comment that he was unhappy about being hurt because he couldn't get on the ice to practice.
You got to look to Jensen doesn't have a ton of hard miles on his body, Wally. If you look at his games played, college guy, so you play it's different than a guy that's been grinding, and not that he hasn't been grinding for a long time, but I'm just pulling up right now. Nick Jensen's only played 633 NHL games. For a guy that's 35 years old, that's not a lot.
Not a lot. No,
that's not a lot. He's not even close to 1,000. Most of his career too. He's been a guy that's been generally healthy, usually good for 70 plus games. But yeah, he doesn't. The odometer is not that high on that body of his, and we'll see. We'll see what comes out of what he has right now, what he's dealing with, if he needs surgery or. But yeah, he's not an old 35. Is the point I'm making.
No, and no one would have said a thing about his age if he didn't have a hip issue this year. Because at the start of the season, he was great.
Listen, Shabbat had his best year. Everybody was raving about the chemistry these two guys had together. I thought they got better and better as the playoffs went on. The best part of being able to defend is not playing in your own zone. Shabbat and Jensen moved the puck extremely well together. And for Shabbat, it was his first playoff too. And I thought he was good. First game, a little bit of a slow start. As the playoffs went on, I thought he was really good. And Jensen playing hurt, I thought he got better and better too. But yeah, I would not call Jensen an old 35 that's washed up. That's
okay. Here's before we get out of here, we'll save the forwards for Monday because now Graeme is upset with our show. Is Dark Helmet, our 60 are good enough to make the playoffs? Now, I would put
They just did.
But are they good enough next year to make the playoffs? And I know that seems weird since they just made the playoffs. I'm not sure.
It's all going to be dependent. You're going to need the goaltenders, Allmark, to be healthy. Think of it this way, too. The experience that the players got this year from playing in big games down the stretch and playing in the playoffs, Pinto's going to be better. The most important, and as much as I praise defensemen, after goaltenders, the most important position is the center ice position. You look at Ottawa down the middle, Stützle, the way he played, man, he's going to be better. Pinto is going to be better. Cousins is going to be better. That's your top three centermen. That's three guys all under the age of 24 and under. Man, okay. That's Pinto's turning 25. That is, you are in good hands down the middle. And you got a little bit of everything.
Wait a second.
You got the dynamic player in Stützle, you got the big horse in Cousins, and you got the all-purpose guy in Pinto. Be hard-pressed to show me other teams in the league that have that kind of young depth down the middle. I think Ottawa is in great hands for the future.
So you think those three names are the fear of God into other NHL teams?
I think if you look at the potential of where they're going, what I was seeing from Stützle in his first playoff told me a lot. A guy that's not afraid of the big moment, a guy that played physical, a lot of times your star players in the playoffs, they don't play with that kind of edge. I thought Stützle, albeit the points weren't massive, he was really good. Cousins,
He was good.
first playoff, was he excellent? No, but I thought he was okay. Pinto had some big moments.
He was
Those three guys
average.
He had some big moments. That line was really good. People forget. Toronto was the best team in the division. Number one. They have guys that have tons of playoff experience down the middle, the most important position.
You got a Hall of Famer taking faceoffs. Yeah, fair enough.
You got Tavares. You got Matthews. Domi's got all kinds of. Lawton was a great pickup. You've got guys that are all in their first playoff, all playing for the first time, all young guys, and you almost beat them. You could have beat them.
Almost doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I do. I would take those three guys based on what I'm seeing, because those guys aren't at their full potential yet. And
as I told you, we wait till Monday to discuss the forwards, but you just delved right in.
I know. There's lots more to discuss. There's lots more to discuss.
Quickly, Matt. I'm going to say this name wrong. Poloni. I apologize if I said your name wrong. You are the winner of today's Linus Ullmark, Linus to Victory T-shirt. I'll get in touch with you and get that sent out.
Was it 4 shutouts or 3?
Had 3 shutouts.
Oh. Somebody texted me and asked me how many, and I go, I think it's 4. Sorry, Domi.
It's not that hard.
Brent got one of my old players that used to. How about this? Well, he used to play for me in Kempville and went to school in Elmira with my son. He watches our show all the way. Plays over in France. He plays professional hockey in France. So Domi, thanks for watching. Sorry for the bad info. It's actually it is 3 shutouts.
Kane, you can buy CIH merchandise, Coming in Hot t-shirts at nationgear.ca. Just click on the Coming in Hot. There's the hoodies and t-shirts there, and the Salty Wallies available as well. All right, Yorkie, enjoy. Tomorrow. Shane Pinto joins the show tomorrow.
Yes.
Find out what he taught when he talks about their guys get angry with one another. I had no idea the level of anger they have towards one another just before a puck drop.
All kinds of things. It's a very good sit down we had with Shane. Looking forward to watching it. I'm going to watch it on the plane tomorrow.
You're not.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Good. I want a picture of you watching it on the plane.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Have a great trip, and we'll see you on Monday, everybody. Thank you.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming in Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.